Over 26.
This is
The Bagger Podcast.
This is the Brunch Club.
Over 26.
welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.
What up, my name is Chaxy, the mastermind, your main guy, the Lord Chaxy, the beautiful Mariah is around, the amazing Mwass is around, Nanyiko is around, the whole gang is around, episode 256, we are
my Cheque.
And it goes without saying, Jimmy Gathu is in the building! Living legend, bro. Oh my God. We should have prepped in advance to kupatia.
Jimmy feels ni kama ameko kwa power bank.
What is
energy.
going on?
No, shut up, it's fine.
Nako sawa.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, man. Let me tell you, like, you've lived such an incredible life.
Yeah.
When I was just researching, of course, luckily I know your story because I'm interested in media. But I was like, let me go online. I was like, where do we even begin?
Honestly.
Like, genuinely, where do we
There's
even
a
begin?
lot.
Let's begin by how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Sana.
Nini na kubamba saizi kwa maisha yako? What's going on then? That's exciting in your life now.
My goodness. Niko vitu mingi.
Without going to the film, because we'll go
Yeah. Don't
Saving the best for last.
In terms of film, so there are two other projects that might happen, aside from chocolate. But chocolate inanibamba sana. Different kind of character. Not me at all, man. I mean, and then there are two others that are about to happen. So, it's just happen.
By about to happen means like you've already shot
the
them.
works.
So tuko hapo karibu.
Okay.
But ni vitu fiti.
Can't wait.
Ni vitu fiti.
Can't wait.
Apart from that, nimebambika jini mtokisa na wajukuu, niko na wajukuu watatu. So kuna piga story now.
I couldn't understand how you are 55
Yeah.
and you have 3 grandkids.
Hey.
Ulianza hii kazi mapema.
Unajua watu unachokianza mapema watu wanakuchekelea. Tunakuchekelea umekaliwa nini. Sasa mimi ndo nawachekelea.
3 grandkids. You know, I was
So we had a whole session asubuhi tumecheza nini. Wako ese, so nakaa ese na mother who's my daughter, and the husband actually got transferred to ese. So of course niko na watu wa so au unajua wezi au unaongea na Mariah. Unaweza ni kama unaongea na nani, you know. So napiga story kama watu wazima alafu nikachomoka nikakama hapo.
Nice. Nini unajua earlier on this was not even in whatever we were planning to ask you. Mau. So wait, your parents, your parents were actively involved.
Yeah. My parents, actually, not just my parents. So like my mom, her dad, so my grandfather was known as, and if there's any more person that atajua jina, akitwa Jendro Erega Shohe Dashayaga. Don't ask me what that means.
That's Kikuyu.
Yeah, it's Kikuyu. So my grandfather was a general. Then he recruited Madhe. Madhe kiwa 16 years of age. So Madhe alikuwa, because Madhe alipata mtu wake wa kwanza at the age of 20 or younger. So alipata number 2, bro wangu amalidede alikuwa mtu wa bike sawa kitwa Webman. Alikuwa anambeba na katikati yake ameka bunduki apeleke mzae. Kwa forest.
That's a gangster.
Which forest?
Karura, name it, any forest. Yeah.
So they were fighting in Nairobi?
Yeah. All over. Jubuda alifungwa Manyani na kina Kenyatta.
Wow.
So hiyo kutembezwa. My sister was born in prison. Wakati wa Mau. Then sister yangu alizaliwa prison. So Madhe alikuwa so you can imagine how we were raised. Madhe alikuwa
military style.
Madhe ni this high. Madhe ni mfupi lakini alikuwa anatupiga war ni kama soldier. Yani hivi. Yeah. And that's what she knew.
Inama ni kupige kofi.
Alikuwa kwa inama. Ile ngumi utapigwa tumbo.
Oh my gosh.
But that's my mom. Yeah. But you call? She's 95 now.
Wow.
Yeah, you got 95 size.
What does she say? Is she hopeful? Because now,
kuna time. You bambika sana. So unajua kama nilishaingia maandamano wakati tukini tulipigwa rungu na polisi tukatii. But every time there's a change in dispensation ama watu kufikiria differently, anafurahi sana. When we lose direction, and she's spoken sometimes kuhusu hiyo kitu. So kama tuna lose direction, we fighting amongst ourselves, nini. Hiyo kabisa inamuumiza kabisa. Asema mazi, that's not why we fought for this. You know what I mean? So but hiyo sikia fit sana, like kama ya Gen Z. So my daughters were involved. Alikuwa nasikia alikuwa nasikia raha ingine fiti sana. So yeah.
Alisikia kutokea?
But then yuko fiti, lakini alikuwa anasema tu siwezi kimbia mbio kama Shiro.
She did her part. She paid the way.
Yeah, anasema mimi nilifanya part. Yeah. My mom has been ashachimbiwa mtaro kwa kashimo, akazibwa mpaka hapa.
By the white man or?
Yeah, by the wazungu. Alafu anamtupia mawe.
But
wape mzee yako.
But then shimo iko ndefu sana.
But you can imagine mpaka hapa.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Ilikuwa pothole.
Tulikapiana. Tunafika hapa. Kuna time moja alituonesha Max.
Yeah.
Because akituambia hizo story kwa tunacheka, it was funny. Ukimagine ndo akitupea. Alafu akatuonesha Max. Tulinyamaza. We all just went quiet, tukamwangalia, tukanyamaza, tukasema okay, sawa.
Wow.
Yeah. So ana scars.
Damn.
Hata mzae, later ni past 78 nikiwa 8 years old, but yeah. Life wa hivyo.
Mwangi comes from a family of collaborators.
For juice.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Do I look like we collaborated? Let me rephrase.
Of course.
But even in our family, kuna watu walikuwa wakitwaje, they had a name, not collaborators, they had a name.
Resistors?
Imekuja ikaenda. Walikuwa wana leak information.
Like spies?
Yeah. They had a name. Nikumbuka nakwambia. Not more.
No, like a Kikuyu name, like a local.
No. Nakumbuka nakwambia. So the ones used to tell the white men where the Mau soldiers were. Yeah. So in our family pia kulikuwa na wengine kama my uncles, especially on my dad's side. And hence the reason why my dad got arrested. Katupo Manyani, because brother yake ndo alimsnitch. Yeah.
So what was the word for snitching apart from juu ama baiskeli?
Ilikuwa na jina lingine, wewe atakwambia.
Unaweza onja apple juice na useme hapo pale.
Home guards. Yeah.
Unasema ati unapatiwa baiskeli, unaimagine wewe umezoea tu kutembea. Unapata tu
Bike wako wapi?
Bro. A long list.
Me definitely in those times me ningekolabo.
We know.
Ningekolabo kiujanja. Ningekuwa reverse home guard. Ningekuwa naambia mama sasa ndio wanakam kesho. Nimwambia mko hapo so mtoke.
Ilikuwa brutal wakikujua.
It's done.
Yeah.
Kuna watu mpaka waleo maadhi hawaongeleshi.
Definitely.
Mpaka waleo, yani she can't talk to them. Yani hawezi, yani mpaka na shunani ini that long. Ananiambia, ndio jambo lilifanya mzee wako kashikwa. Mimi ni muongeleshaje? Unalifanya nikaza sister yako kwa prison. Unataka ni hivyo. She's bitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
yeah, like kwenye itakuwa.
Kabisa hawaongei kabisa. Crazy. Anyway.
So then around teenagehood, so unadu nini? Like what is Nairobi like? What are you guys up to? What is there to do? Because this is 80s now.
Sasa
70s, 80s?
What, me? When I was born in 70.
Umeishi.
Nimeishi maze. Mimi ni wale watu wa CP. Sijui kama watu wanakumbuka CP.
Iko kwa K bado.
They were fighting for the K.
Are we a country?
Kabla K. Yeah. Life. I mean, ilikuwa fiti. I think when I turned 15, kulikuwa sasa na breakdance. So I think music and the arts played a huge role, I think, in the society in Kenya. And I was very involved in dance, I think pia kubambika juu ya muziki. I don't know which other teen doesn't get caught up in the music wave. But now Samimi went on and actually started a band with a couple of friends of mine. Started writing.
Band ilikuwa inaitwaje?
Impulse.
Impulse.
That was in 89, 90. 89. Yeah, so I think from teenage years, it was all dance, from break dance, and then I got into Christian full-time ministry. Moved out of home when I was 17.
Hey.
For a year.
To become a minister.
I wanted to become a street preacher, yeah. I even fasted for 31 days.
Hey, yes. Is that you?
Yes, Mama.
When I was 17.
31 days bila dishi.
Bila maji.
Water fast for 31 days is wild.
And let me tell you.
After?
No.
Immediate
But then you were fit sana. So the first 3 days are difficult. The first 3 days, woo! Alafu body yako ina just inazoea.
So this is where, like in a forest somewhere in
the
house.
Unapita
I know that sounds biblical. You
know that song?
Me says imagine like say you
Kerero.
No, nilikuwa na boy wangu tulikuwa kwa house flani South B, walikuwa tunaishi. In a room for 31 days. Watu kwa room na kwa
luna.
Unaluna.
What are you doing?
To release one. Wait, so was there something specific you guys were fasting and praying?
I wanted a deeper meaning. How old was I? 17. So a deeper meaning into what life was about, what Christianity, what God wanted me to do. But for me, I wanted to be a street preacher.
Okay.
I had already been.
Street preacher ni wenye.
Wale wanakuwa barabara hiyo. Nilikuwa na kampenyo. But I had already started preaching in youth ministry. Vijana na nini kwa kina machuo nini. Mimi niko natembea na Bible. Ongenena bila Bible. That's what people knew me for.
Okay.
You know.
Deuteronomy 4:17 unasema.
But funny enough, that's not what God wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Your realization will come your time, Mama, after.
Yeah, so it came towards the end of my fasting. What I can show to rudi tu home kwanza.
Mchezo.
So I went back home, and then and by the my life would not be the same. Singekuwa hapa kama sio fasting.
Okay. Sasa hata sidhani unaweza fast South B 31 days. Street food ni mingi.
Harufu kila mahali.
Unashuka kama 3 alafu unanusa smocha day 24.
Naweza. Nilikuwa young, so sidhani naweza.
Yeah, which is allowed. Yeah.
And I think 3 years after is when now nikaingia media and
uliona kamera ukasema bas
kwisha paka yeah.
Did you actually, were you the first person that dropped a music video in Kenya?
I don't think so. Okay. Wait, music video?
Look, Sync,
yes.
Stay Alive.
Yeah. I think
the first
I think the first music video shot on film. So and those days you shoot on film ilikuwa inapelekwa UK kukua processed. Jesus. Kukua processed for a month. Alafu inarudi kama Betacam. Inakuja kwa Betacam tapes. Sasa hizo ndo mnatumia kukata. Na mkisha kata mnarudisha tena for graining, into graining makala whatever. Grading. Alafu ndo sasa inarudi.
Bro, so you kutuma ya kwanza set inarudi a finished product.
Ni process tu kutoa.
So unatuma je poster?
Ni film. Those
no, how do you send like through poster?
Yeah,
like a parcel.
Yeah.
Hey, I have so many questions.
Mike check say tungekuwa episode.
So how big are, so these are like, I'm assuming huge cameras.
Big cameras, Panavision cameras, with those reels. They're called reels. Lock nini. Shoot.
So before you guys dropped this video, so most of the songs will go to audio national anthem. Like in the industry.
So what happened was in 87, from I think 86 onwards, the matatu zilikuwa noma, menace kabisa, yani killings, yani zilikuwa mbaya. So the Association of Insurers of Kenya can decide wacha tu what can we do to put a message through? And music, I guess, was yeah. And so we became the first video shot on film. But then also in terms of just the music, because music ya kawaida. Lazima iwe music inachezwa club. Because that was the plan. Inachezwa club, nini. Yeah. So I think it was two guys who got together, Andrew White and Matthew Pivas. Wakatengeneza ngoma and alafu katafuta saa mtu wa kuimba. So that's how I came in. And then I also, so the title, name of the song was actually from something that I did. So Ivo, ikawa. Pivas Supersonic. What's
Our sound guy doesn't have the mic.
It's too invested in the story.
Yeah, it was 89.
You mentioned Matthew Pivas from Supersonic, yeah? The guy who owns.
I don't know what he owns now. The last time I saw Matthew Pivas was when he had gotten together with Andrew White at the kuna studio fulani hapa James Gishuru.
Oh, that's the one.
That's
the one.
Yeah. It's called Supersonic.
Supersonic.
Yeah. Matthew besti yangu sana mpaka leo.
Me have a silly question. Now, when you shoot a music video in the UK mara mbili, how do you drop?
Launch mase.
You do a launch?
Yeah, ilikuwa launch. Ni kama kulaunch Kigari.
Ilikuwa ni kitu because in the early 90s, the whole thing is 6 MBs.
Beats a cab. Yeah. So it was a big launch. It was almost like launching a vehicle. But then the bosses were Kenyan alikuwa, so hapo ndo pale nikapata job.
From that. Yeah. Were video vixens a thing at the time or no?
Kulikuwa some of I think moja ndo yuko hapa. The rest went to the UK.
Okay.
Was the TV culture?
Ushaona video?
Nimeona.
Kuna ma video vixens.
But for me, because nimeona YouTube, it was so grainy.
Bro.
Maka nilikuwa nashinda sasa.
Nani? You cannot
be. So what you see on YouTube is not. I should get you the original video. Okay, no, original.
Yeah. Is it clear size?
Yeah. The original one. Yeah, YouTube imetumona watu wengi nini.
Gotcha.
Because I was like, who's Jimmy? Is it the guy who anakwanga
huko nyuma mwenye hapo mbele?
I'm like,
kwani imechangiwa sana.
Bro, it's so grainy. Ukiangalia better than on YouTube, it's so grainy.
Tafuta kuna a few ambayo ni original. Lakini if I nakutafutia original.
Please do.
Squeeze si lazima ende UK.
Just
email.
Damn. So this is now where the guys from KTN find you at the launch of music video in 1990. Then what they offer you? Like a position as standard?
Yeah, we used to have those days something called continuity announcing. But they also were like, this, we wanted to start music shows. And we just don't, we play music, but we don't know what to do with them. So maybe you can help us. So the music shows on KTN started from there. And then I always thought kids entertainment also ilikuwa aibambi.
Yeah.
So hata mimi nikiwa mtu niko tu aibambi. Apart from I need they're laughing, okay, BC. Everything else makes sense kwa TV. And there was an opportunity kulikuwa na show inaitwa KTN Kids Club. And the presenter alikuwa anajisikia kuacha.
Alikuwa mkubwa.
Alikuwa mtu mkubwa, alikuwa sales, alikuwa deputy sales manager. So akaniambia, unajisikia na kitu? Nikamwambia, sana kabisa. Naweza change. Akasema, do what you want. Na change pia jina. Change. Do what you want.
Wait, is
that how Club Kiboko?
That's how Club Kiboko started.
We were raised on Club Kiboko.
We.
We come back.
It's true though.
Ile time walipata TV ilikuwa inacheza KBC pekee.
Yeah.
It's very true. Yeah. Wait, so you were new at KTN and they allowed you to change the show? For some time.
Yeah. It's interesting. The amount of support I got when I was at KTN from somebody ambaye sikufanya journalism at all. Mimi nilifanya interior design na fine art.
Oh wow.
So nikitaka kufanya kitu, the support from the editors to the producers to the bosses ilikuwa so not overwhelming. It was just ilikuwa
You felt supported.
You know what I mean? So there was never a time when I wanted to do something ambaye nilikuwa nakanyagiwa. Ambaye nini wacha unaenda mbio tulia. None. What do you need? Nini. Wengine wananionyesha okay inafanywa hivi. Everything from 1990 until the time I left KTN in 2001.
Damn.
Ilikuwa tu iko.
I
was taken to Germany for training for 3.5 months. And normally at that time ilikuwa ni watu wa news kunapelekwa. So the HR and admin boss akatuita kwa meeting akasema guys, so hii kitu imekuja tena. Mimi naona tu mtu mwingine apatiwe. Na mimi naona kama huyu kijana apatiwe. So that time it was a lady called Christine Goko, Masi Oburu, Catherine Kasavuli nini. Wakasema patia mtoi, wakapita mtoi. Patia mtoi aende. Wacha mtoi aende. Hivyo. No one said that Manzela. You imagine per DM nini ilikuwa na kitu inadopoa.
Wow.
Wakasema pana lazima mtoi wetu aende. Hivyo. Umekubali?
Go.
At this time umejipanga uko na passport uko na nini ama sasa ni kwenda
nilipata passport ina pace kile nilipata ni strong.
Yani
hiyo meeting lisa hivi huyo jamaa akasema haya enda chini those days KTN ilikuwa Nyaya House. Nikamwambia enda downstairs.
Get your star.
So nikaenda downstairs picha nikirudi nikapigia simu wewe kuchukua passport. Day one.
KTN ilikuwa actually in Nyaya House.
That's crazy.
As an independent
unasema 1990 ulikuwa tu mtu mkubwa na hasa.
We were not born.
Literally your career is older than our actual age.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah,
because also KTN was like the first commercial station.
Yes.
So in my mind, nilikuwa imagine maybe there was a lot of gatekeeping. You know, just typical.
KTN was the best place to work in.
Yeah. Also maybe you needed to really be really good, stand out. Because the first commercial station, were there any other stations for some time?
No.
So I can imagine that the best of the best
was there.
Yeah. And then
we were trained. Tulifunzwa na Kasavuli, the late Kasavuli, and now the late Njoroge Mwaura on how to speak kwa mic. Unaekewa mic hapo unaongea tu. Kama una mic. So Kasavuli used to anaambia huyo jamaa sound cut. And I was like, what are you doing?
I'm speaking.
Anasema okay wewe kuja ukayapa. So unakuja nje ya studio ya anakaa. Alafu havai mic. So anaongea tu nashindwa. Mama no umsikii? Alafu anava akiongea alafu anaambia jamaa nike mic. Anika mic unamsikia ni kama unamsikia hivi. Ukitoa that's how she talk.
Oh, wow.
Greetings, I am Catherine Kasavuli. This is Hivo, but with a smile. Why are you shouting and you have a microphone? Don't shout. Nilikuwa nashindwa unaongea aje na unacheka ni ndio ukiwa excited of course. Yeah. Kwa hivyo tu yani fiti. Hi, my name is Catherine Kasavuli.
Unaambia tuongea.
Do you know this is called a neck mic? Here it's here. It can pick your sound.
Oh my.
Njoroge Mwaura ni yani vile kuvaa. Sijui ati uko na dreads na nini.
Forget it.
Zain Verji alifunzwa na Njoroge Mwaura. So Zain Verji the first time, you know Zain Verji. So Zain Verji alipokuja KTN for training, alikuwa Capital, tulikuwa naye Capital before. Akapata Njoroge Mwaura. Zain alikuwa na nywele. Ask anyone who knew Zain Verji before. Nywele ya Zain ilikuwa nafika hapa. Alikuwa na nywele ndefu hapa. So Njoroge na mangaria anasoma anafanya audition zake Njoroge. Akamwambia, young lady, yes. Do you want to be on television? Akasema, oh yes, yeah. Tomorrow you cut all that hair. Excuse me? You cut all that hair. News is not about adjusting your hair. No one is interested in you adjusting your hair. Everyone wants to hear the news. So tomorrow come with all that hair. Na Njoroge akamka kaenda. Sina kabaki hapo.
What do you mean?
I cut. Yeah.
Did she cut it?
Alikaa siku 3 akafikiria.
I said a normal person would.
So akarudi akamwambia Njoroge, I can't. So I guess you don't want this job then. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. It's okay. Njoroge akatoka.
Enjoy your hair.
Njoroge, oh, by the way, I used to have dreadlocks. I don't have them now because I wanted this job. Akatoka hapa kaenda.
Njoroge alikuwa na pass on the trauma.
Alikuja na nywele. Hapa.
So is this because was it not like almost acceptable?
I think those days, I don't know about now. Sijaona broadcaster wote anasoma news akona dreadlocks unless he may change. I don't think ningekuwa na TV station yangu.
Ningekuwa na sauti kama Johnson Mwakazi ningeenda tu na dread.
Johnson Mwakazi alikuwa kidogo na dreads. Mimi nilimdiscover alikuwa na dreads kidogo. Alikuja amenyoa tu yote vizuri na suti.
Yaani unaangalia
hata kiburi kidogo.
Unaangalia pake.
Yeah.
So they say kama ni kweli 55 to 60% of the reason why watu wanakuona kwa TV na wanabaki is how you look. Hujafungua mdomo. Do you know how much it is for them to, how much of your intelligence is needed for them to listen to you?
Sure.
5%. Whatever comes out of your mouth makes them stay. But how you look first.
We'll keep them there for a minute.
Nani huyu?
Yeah.
But also
na kama ni msharp sasa kabisa.
Now you bonus.
Kama Yvonne.
Yeah. But also kama also dread bado wanashtua watu up to date. Sasa naweza imagine in the 90s.
I don't know mbona baby kuna dreads zingine zinaweza.
What are you saying?
Like which one?
Turn to the camera.
Kuna zingine zinaweza.
Okay, tuambie gani ya Zibambi. And look highly to your left.
Tuongeleze
Tuambie gani ya Zibambi.
You know.
It sounds like my dad. My dad tells me, these are dreadlocks. The Chaxy and Mariah.
Let me give an example. Unaona mtu kama Richard Quest. During when nikiingia media for a long time, maybe 10 years into when I was in media, mtu kama Richard Quest angesoma news. Kabisa. Tukongea hivyo vile ongea. Angeambiwa I remember because all of us went through training. So mimi nilikuwa tumia training ya kusoma news. Unaona? Because KTN ilikuwa na kitu ya you have to be all rounder. Huyu akiwa mgonjwa anyone can sit in. So one time Njoroge akawa sick, so mimi ikabidi nimshikilie. Na mimi nilikuwa na shida ya kuvaa. So nilikuwa nimevaa tie lakini nilikuwa na kifro.
Ulikuwa na nywele ya mtu behind the
chairman, the owner of KTN akitwa bwana sio jina yake.
The owner?
The owner.
It's not the Moyes.
No, it wasn't the Moyes. Iko Moyes yako na owner hata kidogo.
Mimi by baadaye house because nilikuwa na
Jared Kangwana ndo alikuwa mwenye the mall. Akasema toa huyo mtoto kwa screen yangu. Toa huyo mtoto kwa screen. So mimi nasoma news. Ikaenda kwa story nyingine nikamwambia chomoka.
Like mid news. So story narudi
next story jamaa mwingine.
Then wanasema aje sasa.
I don't know what they say but huyo jamaa so akuja kaniambia wewe.
What's up?
Nikasema mimi am a music presenter. But nikamwambia nikalie whatever alikuwa. So all I know is lazima nivae nikavaa tie. But sisi nielewa.
So at a point hakuna hair and makeup nini. Una nyonga tu tai unapanda.
Hatuko na hair and makeup. Wewe unajifanya hair and makeup mwenyewe.
Na how big was it mass media ama ilikuwa Nairobi tu?
Nairobi at the time, yeah. From 1990 to tuseme mnakumbuka kitu kweli towards maybe the late 90s or 98. Let me just say when Standard bought KTN kama Baraza Limited sasa ndio ikaanza ku expand.
Watu wote walikuwa wanapata news aje?
KBC tu bado.
KBC
sasa walikuwa na news baadaye.
Silikuwa nazimwanga KBC. Walikuwa nazima na washwa leo.
So when KTN came ikawa ni compare. But yeah KBC so broadcast ilikuwa inaanza 4.
The rest of the day
Mwass.
Because why?
Kwa nini mnakuwa
sasa si
hata pia hakuna content.
Kuna improvement.
No kuna content but washa cover stories za Moyes wote. What else is that to cover?
Kwa improvement. Ikawa inazimu
And that time KTN is still on.
Bro, so hata kiwasha kunaanza na national anthem.
When KTN came.
Na toot.
National anthem.
Why?
I'm telling you.
Unasimama kwa nyumba yako hiyo.
Tunaweza shikwa na dance.
Si uongo.
Mimi siwezi. Ile siku kwanza ndio umelipa rent
Oh my God.
So you see that when KTN came, no one bothered to watch KBC. So to think about all improve programming, to bad die.
Can we talk about some of the key highlights at your time at Standard? Any memorable things you remember? Because you hosted like 7 shows.
Yeah.
7 shows.
Especially
7,
like showbiz.
8.
Are there like, because I can imagine then KTN must have been the hub that made stars at the time. Because ungeenda wapi kwingine if you're a musician. So any like popular names that maybe you guys
I think when I was at KTN, Hardstone.
Ooh.
I don't know if you remember Hardstone.
Hardstone.
So Hardstone. Who else came through? Hardstone, Eric Wainaina, 5 Alive, Heart was Ted Josiah, Pete Todera, and Salio Yugi. Because kulikuwa na event kunafanyika Carnival ikitwa talent search. And so what I did, nilikuwa nikienda kurecord talent search na I broadcast kwa the shows, kwa the music shows.
Nice.
So kama ni ngoma contestants walikuwa wanacheza ngoma za Kiswahili, nilikuwa nikizeka kwa ile show ya Kiswahili, kas hivyo. So a lot of these guys, kina Ted, although Ted Josiah, story yangu na yake different story. I introduced him to the producer who then he took over the studio and so on and so forth. And it's a long story. But I think musically, nikiwa KTN, that was it. Hardstone, Nazizi, first time ever seen, was on my show. I used to do a show on KTN. Ilikuja tu once, not once, one season. Ilikuwa Niaje. So Nazizi, Red Sun, DJ. Nameless now is when I joined KTN. Capital FM.
Okay.
So kulikuwa na competition, and then he won with a song called Mega Rider.
Yeah.
Remember?
Aliimba kwa simu wewe hivyo. Watu masea hivyo.
Na roommate wako kwa oblivious tu alikuwa ngapo ajui.
Gini inaendelea.
So that's it's not homework now at Capital.
No, actually it wasn't his homework. I was sitting in for a presenter called Patricia Mira. So the competition was on Drive.
Okay.
Afternoon Drive, I think, or something like that. Ivo.
Yeah. So then you moved. So I think you moved.
Then you now. Chocolates.
Tutafika. Tulia tupange.
Miaka 55 tuko 20.
Jamani.
So I think your move ndio ilikuwa interesting. So how were you at Capital and KBC at the same time?
KTN.
And
KTN.
At the same time?
Yeah.
And they didn't
Don't have an
issue. No. So at that time, KTN's CEO and Capital FM CEO were husband and wife.
Hey,
Nairobi.
However, the pillow talks.
But Standard had a lot to do with Capital. I had a bit of shares. I can't remember. They had a working relationship. So you cross, and then
well,
Capital, ilikuwa kawaki. But Capital was radio. KTN was television. That was also the
they're not directly competing.
Yeah. So kukuwa na direct competition. So, but also Capital, I think, really joined as I was towards, I think, nilitoka KTN 2001. Do nikinge Capital fully. But I was at Capital. I was doing Capital while at KTN from 96, 97, 98. Yeah.
Ulikuwa na hustle.
Honestly.
Nili hustle, mazee.
No,
What was the big motivation? Ulikuwa unasema karaoke urudi.
Yeah. That was one.
Real.
That was, imagine. But the same says so. That was one. And then I became Coca-Cola Youth Ambassador in 96. So I made my first meter.
Hapo tumeza.
In 96. Dude, I didn't even have bearing to walk. People are making meters.
What's that bearing to work? Meter 96 ungenunua tu Capital. Unajua meter 96
from that time.
Na shamba kare nilikuwa 3,000.
Nilikuwa cycle nyumba. Nilikuwa tu I mean, things went
Liter
very...
in 96 is crazy.
Did you blow it or you spent it?
No, I spent it well. Of course, I spent it very well.
What did you buy?
So I renovated. Did you have to more fitty? Hey, leather. No, I did. I invested it well. Let me say that. And then things just happened very quickly. Opportunities. I think your connection ya Coke ikanifungulia mlango mahali pengi. So hata ningetaka singechoma. Hata ningetaka because now the events I would go to or the
people you're interacting with.
Ni watu wanakujenga. Unaona, so
you can't sleep.
Hauna your time.
Ulikuwa unalala hata.
Ati akwenda kukaa na maboys na nini. Ujuu unataka kusikia ujamaa anasema nini. Unaona, so naye anakuunganisha na chali mwingine. Hivyo. By the time I realized it,
Mita.
Yeah, it's gone.
No, Mita ilikuwa isa.
Oh, Mita. Mita ilikam one time.
Mita
ilikam kama miaka 3.
Okay.
Wacha tu niseme nitengeneza ngapi lakini nitengeneza dope fit.
It's too late.
Then now Radio Africa. Bro, so you worked, okay, let's say you worked in every single media house almost.
So Radio Africa ilianza Ilika Capital 2 years. No, okay, it's not 2
Classic
years.
Classic or Capital?
Capital. So nianza na Capital mpaka 2002. Then nikashinda hii award ya
Chaguo
Latinis. Nakumbuka nikapata award Chaguo Latinis. Nikarudi job Capital kumaliza job. Nilikuwa program.
What was the award?
Radio present of the year.
Of the year.
Yeah.
Which was a big deal at the time.
Oh yeah. And I was the first recipient.
Hey.
Nilikuwa fiti basi.
Ndio tukufinyana. Iko bado.
Ulikuwa nadhani itaenda walk.
So nikarudi kazini kumaliza job. Nilikuwa deputy programs controller na presenter wa hits. Then nikiwa job tu hivi kwa akanitumia text. Hi. Patrick, those days, if Patrick
PQ hits you up, yeah, it's over.
PQ amekupigia simu.
Umeomoka.
Na hiyo siku text ni 7.
Kwisha. Umeomoka. So, one thing led to another, nikajipata case. However, ile show nilipewa, na structure ya case ilikuwa very different. Capital nilikuwa na control of the music I was playing. Kiss haukuwa na hiyo control. I don't know how it may change, you know.
But the same song 10 times.
But uzuri, hiyo pia ndo ilikuwa wakati pia siasa ilikuwa inabadilika. So Karo Mutoko akaongea na Pikio akamsho jamaa kwa gumzo ni mnoma. So akasema wacha afanyie kitu nataka kuanzisha. So nikaanza show baadaye kwa kitu the People's Parliament. Which ran for about 4 years. 4 years. 3 years. Nikapata award pia.
Hey.
I'm curious. Ulikuwa na come up na hizi majina? Club Kiboko, ni aje?
Club Kiboko, yes. Ni aje, yes. Hizo music shows, yes. People's Parliament ni listeners waliita. Wakasema hii ni bunge yetu. Mtu wote hezi chukua, this is where we come to speak, nini. So we're going to call it our parliament. So jamii asema, can we call it the People's Parliament? Hivyo. Kwa kisi kwa kitwa The Kiss 100. The Kiss 100 talk show. Or something like that. The Kiss 100 talk show. Kitu kama hiyo.
Inanibamba juu there's so many creative names alafu kuna tu zile direct. Hii inaitwa nini? Talent search. Inaitwa nini? Kenya Television Network.
People's Parliament.
Crazy.
Hiyo ilikuwa kitu ilikuwa. Sasa hiyo ndio kan introduce to siasa.
Okay.
And how to. Nakumbuka kuna siku nilifanya show fulani. Chani moja mpaka sasa tuko mabese. Anaitwa Henry Wasilwa. Ni lawyer mnoma sana. So kwa show kwa tunamuita the Attorney General. So kwa People's Parliament mpaka tulikuwa na cabinet yetu. So kulikuwa na tulikuwa yani so when ni mbunge wa People's Parliament. So if you're from Kikuyu, you're the MP for Kikuyu. If kama uko Mombasa, MP. So our MP for Kikuyu was actually Kimani Shongo. Yeah. So Kimanisho, in fact, I remember.
Literally.
In fact, I remember.
Yeah.
The time when Uhuru Kenyatta, before he became the president, alikuja for an interview. At that time, I think alikuwa Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
This is the Sheng interview.
Papana, hii ni People's Parliament. Wacha ile ya Sheng ilikuwa 24 much later. Hiyo ndio kiwa president. Na tulimhustle sana na finance. So Kimanishungwa ni noma sana kwa kwa figures. Tulihustle sana Kenyatta. When Kimani Ichung'wah became the MP, first time MP, wakaenda kumit Uhuru, kaambia wewe ndo mlikuwa mnanisumbua nikiwa na JIMMI GATHU. Our MP for Mombasa was Ali Hassan Joho.
No way.
Listen.
No way.
Like this is a lot.
No way.
Yeah, so anyway, so this guy akakitwa anaitwa Henry Wasilwa. Akasema mimi nimeongea akapiga simu akasema Jimmy, you know this is our show. Akasema yes. And this show is not a show where you spew things you're not sure about or things are not factual. Whatever you said is not true, not factual. Akanikula msomo kwa hewa. Akaniambia, boss, if you ever need information, I'll give it to you for free. I am a lawyer and I'm also a counsel for, in judicial system. Back now we are like this.
Oh, wow.
That guy and everyone else. So I had all sorts of professionals. And if you want information, tomorrow, what's the topic tomorrow? They just be called the speaker. Speaker, nakutumia info, angalia email yako. Hivo. I was taught about politics and research. Kwa hiyo show.
Show ilikuwa what time of the day?
Ilikuwa 4 hours. Hakuna ngoma, 4 hours from 8 to midnight.
Wow.
Panganga hivi.
So basically,
no music.
Podcast.
Literally.
Yeah. And it was, because at that time is also when now radio also was started streaming online. So People's Parliament kuna sikizwa all over. Juni nilikuwa napata calls from South Africa, from US, from UK, from all over the Canada, diaspora piga simu. Piga simu. So it was a huge show. So no surprise when it won an award because
Plus
that's
impact.
a lot of influence, especially on ground.
Yeah.
So then how then why
also apart from people who were born in politics, there were also regulars. Nyong alikuwa regular in terms of contribution. But who else was kulikuwa na wengi ambaye walikuwa MPs then but also contributing.
Okay.
Yeah. Then now
so it was fun.
Then now you switched to classic?
Then I went to so then classic. Then I moved to classic.
Yes, because there's a good story there.
Huko kote unapochiwa ama
You can go to the next door.
So Radio Africa tukaitwa mimi Maina na Maina. Mimi na Maina tukaitwa. Tukaambiwa sasa we're going to move you to our new station called Classic 105. What? And so right now it doesn't exist. So
they hadn't started Classic.
The challenge is I want it to become at least number 2, number 1, number 2. If you give me number 1, fine. Number 2 within a year.
Number 2 within Radio Africa or
Kenya? Within Nairobi. Nairobi.
That time kuna like how many?
Because at that time Kiss ilikuwa now national, but Classic ilikuwa to Nairobi, Machakos, and so on. Hey, all the challenge. So the mdosi were the group programs director, akitwa John Wilkins. Akanipatia box ya tapes, ya cassettes. Akaniambia usikize hii. These are comedians we have poached from Citizen Radio. Go pick somebody there who can work with Maina. Hivo. So mimi nikaenda home.
So Maina alikuwa anafanya show already ama?
Maina ameshatolewa. Maina alikuwa anafanya drive.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest drive show.
Yeah.
Akatolewa drive akaletwa Classic pale hakuna listeners. It's a new station.
Yeah.
So mimi nikasikiza comedian na kwanza wa pili wa tatu. Nikasikiza huyu mmoja bana. Ana sound tu. Joke zake ni intelligent. Nikamsikiza. Wow. Kabisa for a while nakumbuka nikirudi ofisini jiona kabisa before somebody nikamwambia there's one I'm listening to, I'll let you know. So baadaye nikamwambia John, this one. Kikatape this one. John Wilkins ni mzungu, Kiswahili. Akasema unajua mimi sijui Kiswahili. I know. So if you tell me this is the guy,
that's it.
Me, I'm depending on you. Nikasema that's the guy. Why? Nikisema so akaniambia why? Nikasema because his jokes are intelligent. What does that mean? Nikasema he's not a clown. So, okay. I don't know what that means. Nikasema he reminds me of a teacher when I was in secondary school. Was funny. He was a serious guy, but he used to say rude jokes, but they were funny.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, hivyo. Akasikiza. Hasijui huyu jamaa anasema nini. Alafu nikaita Maina. So nikamboke now. So from there, I was just a presenter. When we were taken to classic, nilikuwa just a presenter. So nikafanywa team leader. Akasema, so now you're the team leader. So no, you're going to be responsible of putting this team together.
Yeah. And making the show either number one or number
So
two.
nikaita Maina.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Nikaita Maina, hii ni mtu yako. Maina akasikiza kaniambia Jimmy acha mchezo bana. Na Maina ni trust. Na trust Maina. Maina na go way back. Maina ni trust. Akaniambia Jimmy mazemi na kutrust lakini mazee ucha. Nikamemsikiza, wewe msikize tu. Sikiza ujambo bila anaongea. Sikiza. Okay. I can't remember what joke alisema. Tukacheka tu sisi wote. Nervous but it was like a funny joke. Maana akasema kama umesema nini jamaa sawa twende. Hey, mazee, the first 2-3 months were tough.
I can imagine.
It was
Well, so this is King'ang'i.
tough. And by the way, this is King'ang'i. So at that time, show ilikuwa inaanza breakfast show inaanza 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Zetu kwa zinaanza 4.
Unaongelesha nani?
4. By the time jamaa amekuja 4 to 9. By the time jamaa amekuja mushazi. So nikamwambia John, maze unatuchezea ngumu. So tuingize kwa kiwanja with everyone. What do you mean? Nikasema no, we start with everyone 6 to 10.
Yeah.
No, there's a uniqueness. Nikasema pana John, unatu waste 6 to 10
Truly.
with kila mtu. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Nikasema sawa. Kwa tumepata 1 year to the clock number 2 in 6 months.
No.
Hey.
Okay,
Nice.
was the
Ilifika
show-
to a time to so of course we had to do a bit of setups, eh?
Okay.
And Maina really did well on those ones. Katometu, okay, so boss, si tufanye kitu hivi. So the first phone call was a setup, second, third, hivyo year. Then I can't remember whether it was the first 2 weeks or the third week, we got now a legit phone call of somebody calling and saying,
Speaking their
you know, unajua nini Maina? Maze bwana yangu amefanya hivyo. Real. We're like,
No.
so yeah, so Maina so Kenyan anakuja sema, yo boss, yeye ni call yako. Nikasema, call gani? Kuna si mimi hivyo. We were confused. Real phone from there.
Went crazy.
Yeah. So what do you think made that show? Because that show is still the biggest show on
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, what made that show? Like, what
It
did
was
you guys
different.
do?
So
Yeah.
at that time, everyone was doing politics in the morning. Siasa. And then what wamechoka na una jam to sijui maybe una jam.
True.
So we did not touch politics. So we were the only breakfast show that was funny, that was emotive, but not politics. It was talking about people's
Social
just
issues.
kawaida tu social issues too. It was not exactly. It wasn't just about what you demamla chalifa. It was about just social issues. Maze kwangu kuna maji kwani hivyo. It wasn't about politics. It was, as you said, vitu za kawaida zinakufanyikia.
Relatable. Mtu anasikiza anasema yani
boom. And it has been like that because even to date, even when Maina does talk about politics, it's not the way other guys will talk about politics. That was a difference. I'll have to continue. Sorry.
And then the format has just stayed the same. And
It's
it's still working.
Decades, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because I told Maina, you don't, akutakuwa siku utasupport King'ang'i. Usiwahi support King'ang'i. That was
So good cop, bad cop.
Nikambia Maina, you support women. Hata kama ni story mbaya. Shika
Now it makes sense.
King'ang'i usiwahi
Support Maina.
because they're never on the same page.
That babe chauvinist. Hata kama unaona mazi, lakini udema mwongeza.
Never.
Hata kama ungeza mwambia bata lakini you don't.
Oh,
Hivyo.
wow.
Unasikia Maina? Maina akasema sawa. King'ang'i? Sawa.
Sawa. To date.
Msichange. We Maina ukai hivi, we ukai hivi. Msichange, msikutane hivi.
Oh wow.
Akukuwa na like a scary thought that your performative itawaingisha kwa fashion.
Ai boss unasema nini? Unajua kuna siku nakumbuka tulikuwa mimi na Maina na tulikuwa Maina anacheka na samazi boss. Research ikitokea iseme kitu you know those days it wasn't as accessible as it is now. Ungejua unajua kama ungekuwa na Facebook live unaona numbers. Those days hakukuwa na kitu kayo. So yeah, una panic.
So how long would you go without knowing?
Because remember, kwako amesema nawapatia 1 year.
Number 1 or number 2?
As in, na kama hamtoboi 1 year, na wa deploy. Ukisikia tu unakuwa redeployed, unajua tu hiyo ni kuambua boss. Hiyo mlango pale. Yeah. It was the most scariest thing we have ever done. Tulikuwa tuna panic yetu sisi wote. Wacha hiyo kitu. I remember when research came, ikasema we are number 2. Nakumbuka I think mimi na Maina tulitoa machozi. I think tulika
like a surreal moment.
Tulika so you kwako na hiyo kitu kwa screen. Ati classic, you guys your thing has worked. Tulika hivi tunaangalia hiyo kitu. Na huyo mzungu pia John alikuwa John Wilkins. Alingangana sisi mbaya. Tulinyamaza tukaangalia ni like what? Jure kile basi tuko na job. It was fantastic.
So you're behind which station or which show? Which show was first?
Classic
Maina and King'ang'i.
No, mulikuwa number 2. So
what was the first show?
At the time.
Karamotoko, sorry. No. Citizen has always been number 1. So Citizen,
even back in those days.
Yeah, so actually so Citizen, then Kiss, then Us Guys. Citizen has always been number 1. Yeah. Okay. Kuna time walikuwa neck and neck with Maina, with Karamotoko, Kiss. But katika hiyo stable ya I think within Nairobi it was Kiss, then
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is when Caroline was with
Nyambani.
Yeah.
Good times.
It was such a powerful feeling.
So so if the show is doing that well, and you guys have literally not even the show, the station, then why would you move to Hot 96? Some because they were market leaders. Royal Media.
Okay, hiyo siwezi ongea. Kulikuwa na siasa ingine lichezwa hapo.
Okay.
Ikabidi ni hepe. So anyway, I had no reason to leave, but somebody didn't like my success. So nikachezewa foul. Jamaa mdosi fulani akaniambia wewe hapo kuna mtu anakaa kama anataka hiyo kazi yako anafikia ni rahisi. In fact, I remember we went for a presentation and somebody told Kwako, you know, it's crazy. This station called Classic is doing numbers, man. It's so unfortunate you're going to fire the PC who's made it happen. Nikiwa hapo. Nikangalia jamaa, ati umesema? That guy, he didn't care. Alikuwa sababu kwa ni siri. Akasema hivyo. I mean, so secret. I mean, you know, I mean, the guy brings it here, you fire him. I don't know why, but I don't know what you're saying. Hivyo, nakaendelea.
Oh, wow.
Like nothing happened.
Nikashinda, what the? Uja amesema nini? Hivyo. That's how I knew.
Hey, that's ballsy.
So Royal Media had been calling for a bit. So ujue mdoza kaniambia fanya hivyo. Ama jamaa kupigia simu tena chukua.
Yeah, cool.
So that's how I went.
So after unaitwa tena meeting nyingine kwa fired ama imesema
so nikaitwa nikaambiwa unataka sisi tunataka kuja hapa unaonaje si ukam tutakulipa those days that was the catch whatever they're paying you will double.
Yeah.
Sasa niko na sasa nikikaa hapa na
napenda hii station.
Let me tell you, the best company, the best media house I ever worked for at that time. Okay, Zota's, but now kabisa kabisa was Radio Africa.
Oh, wow.
Kwaku knew how
We have
to
a
take
weird
care of
question.
people.
Jimmy, have you ever applied for a job?
By the way,
Yadi,
mulienda
this is from a music video.
KTN,
And
here is a
boom.
job.
But
Yeah.
all those stations I ever worked for,
Uko na
I
CV.
never.
It's poaching.
Yeah, I never applied.
Crazy.
Damn.
Because how? Because I'm not assuming already your career is growing so well.
Yeah.
It feels like any media house that wants to get a certain level, if you're
Yeah.
looking for the best people,
Yeah.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
unalipa pesa ngapi? She can do your offer, literally.
Because I
So
feel like
nikaenda Royal Media, nikaanzisha Hot 96.
Which was our first urban station at the time.
For Royal Media.
Yeah. Because they didn't.
YFM. So nikatoa YFM, nikaflip YFM to Hot 96.
Okay.
Grew our numbers from 800,000 to 5 million in 6 months. So it was nice. It was a nice challenge. I had an interesting breakfast show. Madem wawili, one was Yvonne Okwara, who was a biochemist by training, not a journalist. Me, I'll train you how to be a journalist.
So alikuja tu kufanya nini huko? Like she was there for attachment, ama?
No. So I had called out for auditions.
No, seriously, but
Yeah, I called out for auditions.
Or for Hot now, because
Yeah.
there's a new station and
Yeah.
presenters, yeah.
was she already in the
I'm
game?
trying to remember exactly she told me, and I told her to come to the station. And then alikuja. I can't remember exactly what she said. It caught my attention. So nikasema, you start tomorrow. Yeah, nikamwambia, you're starting tomorrow.
Oh, before. No interview, nothing.
Yeah, nikamwambia, usijali, I'll train you, nini. And I was very brutal with Yvonne because I could see her potential. There's one time she came to work late. Nikamwambia, unaona hapo kwa reception, utakaa hapo. I want you to listen to your replacements. Listen to your replacement on there. Sit there. Na nikaambia receptionist, akitoka kwa hiyo kiti, utaniambia. She sat hangovered for 3 hours. Hivi, wageni wanakuja nampata hapo. Hivi, 3 hours. Mdosi anakuja.
Why are you here?
What's that? Another time, there were some drive presenters were fighting. I came, I switched off the mics. Nikawafuta wote.
Fighting on air?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mwende home kwanza mukai. I was very brutal on some people, but if you look at them now,
Yeah, they've really...
Mwakazi,
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Even Johnson, because you mentioned in passing, you discovered
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah. So I had this policy: we don't discuss anything on air if you don't have the facts. I don't care if it takes you 2 days to get those facts. I don't care if it's the biggest story then. If you do not have the facts,
Don't talk about it.
amuongee your story
Yeah.
I like that.
until uko na hizo facts, and that's what makes a difference. So mtu anaisikia anashindwa, ai, jana hii story ilikuwa kubwa, like, ai, unasikia vile ama? Yeah. You know, and at some point, these two, there was Yvonne, I don't know, I can't remember her co-host, who was a lawyer. Kama demo ile lawyer na Yvonne. Walipeleka Karomto kumbia sana. Hivi. They were brilliant presenters.
Even now, see, even
Tukaambwa na Kobe Kiara. So, the first TV breakfast show ever. You go decide what it's going to be called. You go sit and
These
decide.
guys are so good on radio, they're like,
Yeah,
You
go
can make
something work on
decide
TV.
what is going to happen, what is going to be. But I just want a breakfast show. It will be the first TV breakfast show on television. You two go and sit. I'm going to give you an old man to guide you. Call Mutegi Njao, go sit.
Power breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah. So he came and said, okay, we have an idea. We're thinking of calling it Power Breakfast Show.
I grew up on Power breakfast.
So like, yeah. That sounds
Right?
good, yeah.
Wow.
But let me tell you, Royal Media, and so long as there's a guy called Washira Waroro, Royal Media kuitoa kwa hiyo position, kuita kwangu. That guy, jamaa sijui ufikiriaje. Ivo, alitobe tu Ivo, I want you to go and create a show.
Yeah.
and you have full creative freedom.
Yes. I want a breakfast show. I want it to be the best breakfast show.
Yeah.
I want it to be. I want you to be interviewing people. I want in here. Give me this. I'm giving you an idea. Go and
figure it out.
Go and breathe life into Ivo.
Yeah.
Wow.
We came draft ya kwanza and said, what is this? What do you guys do? This is nonsense. Are you saying one Ivo? Mpaka mara mwisho akasema, oh, okay, this is good. Because I think Was he the one who came up with the name for breakfast? Was it Copen? I can't remember. Anyway, nini akasema, okay, sir, that works. Hivyo na tukaanza.
Madness.
It feels so easy. But I can
It
imagine.
was.
That's what I'm saying. It feels.
It was.
But I can imagine like the discussions.
I remember there were
Lord.
times, you know, tulikuwa tunakata sema, mazee, unajua kama tukuje na hii kitu, you're not going to be in this company. That's how scary it was. You go, you present a draft and I say, this is bullshit. What is this, guys? I thought I was dealing with creatives. Get out of my office.
Yeah. I thought I was
Monatoka.
Mmeambiwa pamoja then unaenda kuambia Yvonne kaa kwa reception.
Yeah.
Na mnataka kuambia wote. Damn.
Crazy.
Well, it was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
The Johnson Makazi.
Oh,
Yeah, how did that come about?
So Johnson,
Yeah.
I wanted a newsreader who sounded like John Sebiokumo.
Yeah, that
legend.
voice is
But somebody I could afford.
on a budget.
And at that time, when I was thinking about it, I had no clue where to find one. So I was emceeing an event at the Serena Hotel.
Oh, Chimana kwa ameanza kuimba.
He had already quit radio, bro. He was on tour.
Anyway, so then there was a narration. So in the program, narration came to this the narrator, and customer, this company, this theater company, and so this guy walks in, slim guy walks in, akafungua mdomo.
Hired.
And I was the MC, so alipomaliza nikaenda nikachukua kadi yangu nikamwambia come tomorrow. Come tomorrow. Akanipigia asubuhi, alinipigia at 7:00 in the morning. Nikamuuliza where are you? Akasema Kibera. Is that where you live? Akasema yes. Nikamwambia kuja. Can you get to Raw Media? Where is that? Nikampa direction. Akasema sawa. Kuja. Nikamuingiza nikammetia script. My head of news is the current CEC Nairobi County called Charles Kerich, yeah, so he's my head of news. So Charles akamwandikia script. Nikamwambia Johnson, read the script. Akasoma, nikamwambia you're reading the 1:00 news.
Not training.
Sayo sijambia mtu, sijambia Washira, sijambia no one.
Yeah.
Saba
Na yeye pia ana vibe tu, akona vibe.
Johnson,
I love
no, because of theater.
I don't mean to sound jamba tu.
Alisoma news. Good afternoon. This is 1:00 news. On Hot 96. I'm Johnson. Wakazi.
Finished.
Nikasikia tu mdosi amekam. Jimmy, who's that? Who's that news? Nikasema, it's called Johnson Wakazi. Where did you get him? He's reading the whatever. Nikasema, he's reading all the news for Hot 96. Nikamwambia pana anasoma news ya KT ya TV. So I literally I literally had to go and buy Mwakazi suit 7. I'll never forget. Nikamvisha 7. Nikamwambia boss sasa unatakika na usome pale. Hivyo. Johnson is a powerful because Johnson his background you akikwambia story yake unazalia.
Oh wow.
So I got him nikampa contract akasoma Hot 96. Then at some point around that time period tukaanza power breakfast, and then it was just a smooth transition from now morning breakfast akaingia prime time news. He's known as the voice now. The voice.
Yeah.
Johnson
Wakazi.
Wow. Acha nikupatia mwisho. Usisahau. Still there. Dude.
Johnson.
So during this all period, do you start to notice when alternative media is becoming a thing in Kenya?
Yeah. So one of the things I was trained at KTN was how to read the market. So nilikuwa nimeanza kuona tu kuna vitu zina change. People were consuming media. Something was going on. And I'd even anticipated how people can how do you make how do you get creatives? How do you work around creatives? How do you get them to be in their space and deliver for you? So when I was at Royal, I actually wrote a document where I had proposed we build studios. So kama unaka pale tunakam tunakujengea ka studio, tunakuequip plus Wi-Fi. Then you present from there, and then we just create a nexus. So like if your show is at from 2 to 4, unaifanya tu home. Ukitakuja kufanya studio sawa, but you know you're
wherever you feel.
Because I think at that time was when Twitter ilianza. Around that time was when Twitter came into play, and Twitter ilikuja na dabo ingine. So when now it became that breaking news was happening on Twitter rather than 4 o'clock on television, nikajua something is happening. So in my view, I thought, what if we're able, because the people who are breaking this news knew what to do. So if I'm able to empower you to be able to get news, you don't have to come to the office. We break your queue pale huko. How will that work? So there were many simu. How many of my team members have good phones? So, but what if we empower? What if we just build those studios? Wow. So unasikia tu story tu. You have that information. Hi, breaking news. Unapiga tu session. Maze niko na story. We break to you. Huko kwa room yako. For more on my show, Evo. But it didn't get approval. And they wish they had, because 10 years later, look at where we are.
Yep. Do you think urban radio is still relevant? Oh, Lord. Do you think urban radio is still relevant in 2025? Na usidanganye. Hii swali Mungu anakuona. Usidanganye.
Speak wisely.
No, urban radio will always be relevant. In terms of I think if you look at communities, look at all areas, I think we've been equalized by fashion, technology, information. So ule mtu ambaye kitambo ungemuita mtu wa shags ni mtu wa urban sasa. Hawezi mtu wa sheng, hawezi mtu wa ngoma, hawezi mtu wa
anajua Kenya wewe unajua.
Exactly. I think it's once umeshajua how media is being consumed, and it's dynamic when and they change. Literally 10 years ago, who would have thought we'd be broadcasting on phone?
True.
That's our date now. You know what I mean? So once umepatia kujua what's trending, what's happening, how are people consuming media, is it in bytes? Is it in seconds? What you know? Once umesha click hivyo, and then you know, because the funny thing, terrestrial media apparently will never diminish. Apparently, it's still big. Apparently. So how do you
I like the word, the use of the word apparently.
Apparently.
Wanted to speculate.
But then how do you leverage on social media to be able to expand your audience? So and everything happens in urban settings, not communities, but just urban settings. So that's my take.
Can you imagine if you had royalties or even a percentage of
what you've done?
You created all of the years, bro. Is that something you ever think about in hindsight?
Yeah. I always say, if I knew what I know now, ningekuwa mdosi sana.
Bro.
But you know what? Let me tell you, kid. Kuna kitu. There's something I can't not do. I can't sit here and see talent and ignore. I find it very difficult to do. Neza katu hapa yani nione tu mazuri jamaa, imagine I'll do what itanikula kichwa, itanikula. I'm like let me give an example. So I was judging talent search. My jamaa kinga kwa stage mazen, and before talent walikuwa na rap tu pifiti Kiswahili, then ikawa semifinals wakaenda on stage wakarap na kizungu.
Calligraph alianza kitambo.
I was like, why?
Yeah.
That was your unique, exactly, yeah. That's how you got to the semis. I was so disappointed, but let me tell you, walikuwa na talent. Mimi kitu nilikuwa tu kwa judge na inasema pana. Imagine yezi isha hivyo. Ikafika break nikaenda nyuma stage nikapiga tejo sasa, wewe Ted niaje fit mwanzo, kuna vijana nimeona kwa stage nataka uwaone kesho. Imagine yezi isha hivyo. Vijana gani? Sijui wanaitwaje. Unaitwaje? Kalamashaka wasikize Ted, I think these guys are ni wanoma wametia tu blanda kidogo lakini ni wanoma please tena akasema sawa nipatie namba yao moja hivyo literally a month tena anipigia simu wakiwa na DJ Delight hebu kama hapa kwa studio nikaenda nikutana we kani nikasema hebu sikiza hii ngoma
tafsiri hii
so like that so siwezi kaa itanikula nasikia tu
something needs to be done.
Mariah akona talent.
Where would you gatekeep?
And then for me is no one is singing it. I'm like no one can see this. That one itanikula
forever.
Yeah. So I have to do something. So napigia mtu imagine just go this place Snowball Industries just go and see her. If she doesn't impress you maybe it was just me. Hivyo.
Yeah.
I told Ted, kama wata kuimpress.
Sawa.
But me vile nimeona
my job.
Ili nikula kichwa. I'm like, why? I went to, I said, mulimba na kizungu. Kwa nini? Tunatuma zeni. So like that, yeah. Imagine.
Oh, wow.
What is the opposite of gatekeeping?
Doshat.
Mpango wa kando campaign.
Bro, I remember.
We, mnanikapa sana.
Kwani ulikuwa unataka kutoka saa ngapi? Huku tuambie unatoka saa ngapi?
After mpango tunge chocolate.
How much time do you have? Ndio pia tusikuweke sana juu stories zako ni mingi. How much time do you work with?
Since ngapi 3:30? 4:30 ndio.
Okay. That's fine.
That's time.
We, shida yako ilikuwa nini na watu wakifanya mambo yao? Unashinda ukiapia kwa room za watu.
Coming out of bathroom. Like that was
unatoka bathroom ya nyumba ya watu. Mara
coming through the window.
Ilikuwa unapata unajua ule mode wa shule tu unashinda eti uko preps.
Both the three of you come here.
I'm like wewe ulikuwa wapi?
It's so funny, eh?
10 p.m.
I remember I was escorting my niece to the airport. I can rudi US. So tumefika kwa airport nampeleka kumbukiza nani? Jamaa fulani akuja. We! Nugu hii. So my niece was like, what? Unafikiwa nani wewe? Atuenda pale kwa tiwa sema sisi wazee sisi tuachana mipango yetu ya kando. Wewe kama nani wewe? So me I stood there I actually thought alikuwa na joke. So me nikaanza kucheka. Jamaa alinishika mashati. Niece wangu hiyo nduru. Cops came. Ni nini hapa? I said me I don't know this guy has a problem.
I think ni mpango wake ya kando alimwacha.
No, she took the ad seriously.
So ikafanyika kama mara tatu. Is when I realized people actually thought that it was my initiative. That it was my initiative. Nenda pale nikasema it wasn't. But can you imagine that's how evil vile ilitoka vipoa. Wale wanafikiria ati jamaa amejitolea wanakuomba wanaume. Wewe kama nani?
Na calculator. Mara na sijui it's like
niko na sijui ni machachari inaisha katikati eti je wewe wacha bana.
The guilty people are only logos.
Wanakuona wewe.
Machachari imeshika imekatika eti wewe je
bro. So I don't know if there were 3 seasons. There were 3 seasons. The first one was now the introduction of Nairobi. Then the second one was the calculator one. The third one was for chicks.
Ya pesa makla.
Wacha tufanye math.
The third one was for chicks.
Yeah.
Do you know? So I went to nikaingia kwa restaurant fulani nikaenda kula nyama nini, alafu ninge jaba. Tena kwa bar. Jamaa kanichoka boss. Kuna shida. Mimi nafikiri nyama yangu imechelewa nikasema okay nini kwa nini haiko? Sio hiyo utakufungia. Unataka kunifungia kwa nini nakula hapa? Kutani. Mimi kutani kuna mademo mekaa chama. Kasema wale ni customers wetu sana. Nasema aidha hao waende ama uende. Nikaangalia jamaa nikafikia yani
nikamfanyaje?
Nikamwacha mchezo.
Kuna swali kuna takezi vitu
sisi. Mimi sasa mbewacha mchezo. Jamaa bucha amekuja na nyama yangu amefunga. Kwa meza kwa bana niko kwa bana kunywa soda na ram.
I mean not it's a smart business decision. A group of people
na wewe mtu mmoja.
Kama mimi ndo narania biashara.
Either huyo chalia toke
Ama si tuende.
Ama mpango wa kando.
Do you know, I took my nyama, nikaenda kwa madam nikamwambia maze, thank you for confirming something for me. Na nikatoka huko.
Bro, it was that deep.
It was serious. It was that.
My favorite inakwanga ule mwenye
best ad in Africa, man.
Remember the guy alikuwa amekalia kitanda alafu unamwambia
Ndio wa calculate anafanya hesabu.
Anamwambia rent 7k alafu anafanya 8.
It was crazy. So, and what happened actually was, so when I was casted, wakafanya audition, nikasted, then atukusikiza na bei. They came to, at that time I was working for KTN. Nilikuwa Royal Media. Wakuja kuona washira Royal Media kama washira. Ungeni ujama. At that time, JIMMI GATHU was actually what do you call this?
Platoon.
Yeah. Nikamwambia Shiro hiyo ndo anataka kunilipa. Akasema acha kufikia story ya do wewe. Hii kitu itainua brand yako. This thing will make you, it will put you up there. Take it.
Hako anajumekula mita 1996.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, take it. They've come to see me. They went to see him from Scan Group. They've come na PSI. They've come to see me. They've asked me to talk to you. I am telling you. I'm advising you as your pal. Chukua hii kitu. Na hiyo do. Chukua hiyo kitu wewe, wacha mchezo. Nikachukua. Okay, sir, let's do it. So nikapatiwa files na videos na nini ku-watch. So they told me, before we do anything, go through this. Hey. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Did it change your life financially? Did you get any more?
This one, it got me a lot of.
It became a very household.
Yeah. I mean, it put my brand back up there for sure. So it worked.
Was it scripted? I mean, it was mostly improv.
It was scripted. A lot of it was improv.
Okay.
Kama yo Thautano. Actually, for me, it was. I was like, hey, Thautano ni kidogo. But anyway, so that reaction. Do that again. Oh, okay. So because my script nini Thautano. Very evil. A lot of it was
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Watching kufanya hesabu. That was also.
Si tulikuwa tu hata tuelewi nini hapa.
But hey, we enjoying the entertainment.
Naambia ukiingia kwa nyumba mtu hadi kuja change channel.
Tunaelewa. Let's talk about acting then. We have a few minutes to go. Yes. Unataka kwenda na Chocolate Empire direct?
Vile mtataka.
Sawa. I think I'd begin with maybe Nairobi Half Life.
Nairobi Half Life, no, I was acting as myself. JIMMI GATHU appears as himself. So Nairobi Half Life was Tosh Gitonga's exam.
Yeah.
I think it was supported by Universal, Hollywood or something. And then qua script, there was a Kenyan celebrity, a popular celebrity, to appear as one of the people that Ujamana kuja Nairobi anaona maceleb nini. So Tosh Gitonga and I go way back. So Tosh akasema hapana. That's how I got it.
Nice.
I had nothing to say. I had no script. Ninget hapo Hilton. Nikapi whatever. Nikaingia ndani. That's it.
Nice.
But it's a big thing in terms of the brand. JIMMI GATHU as himself.
Yeah.
Wale wase wa nyota sasa hivi wanasikiza JIMMI GATHU kwa nyota yako.
Because also you had background in theater. So when you're doing TV and radio, had you packed acting kidogo or you were still acting?
So I did acting from 89. Niliacha 96. 89 to 96. So when I was at KTN, I was doing KTN and acting. Yeah. Phoenix Players, Sana. So 89 to 91, nilikuwa National Theatre with Mbalamwezi Players, also one of the founders. Then James Falkland, the late James Falkland, alikuja kuna play tuko tunafanya National Theatre. Akaniuliza Kalneza, would I be interested in moving to Phoenix Players? At first, no, I wasn't. And then in terms of the amount of professional work they were doing, nikaona hiyo ni better. So nikaingia hapo. So tulikuwa mimi, Charles Kiarie, George Mungai, Ian Mbogwa, many others. Yeah. So we were there from 1992 to 96. Phoenix.
Okay. Then is it 2000s, like early 2000s, mid 2000s?
No, I didn't do any theater.
Yeah.
The last play I ever did was Macbeth, which was 96. No, it was Julius Caesar. I was supposed to do Macbeth when I come back. So Julius Caesar, so nikaenda Germany for training. And then when I came back, mbona sikufanya hiyo kitu? Actually, no, you're right. Yeah. So when I came back I did play. You're right. Yeah. I think the last play I did was actually when I joined Kiss.
That's 90 what? That's
2002.
Something, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2002. Then first film after in the mid 2000s.
First film.
Yeah.
I know I did. What was this Kenyan film called? Saikati. I did Saikati. I think I did. Yeah, I did Saikati. Not a big role. Then I got to do Changes, a series called Changes.
Changes was
where I met
nice.
Toshki Tonga. Did season 2 and season 3. Then I did from Changes nikafanya State House for 1 season. Then nikatulia ikawa tu quiet. Then I did Kina.
I'm yet to watch Kina.
You.
You've watched Kina, no?
No.
Ni single case only.
Kina sahii mkianza. Kina mko season? Mko
Kina
episode?
tulimaliza, but we did 5 years.
How many episodes in total?
Every day. 270 episodes.
Wanna shoot every day?
270 episodes per season.
Niliendanga kuianza nikasema we.
Ngumu, kwanza umeanza halfway. It's like
It was a telenovela. Telenovela daily shows every day. So
How crazy is the
was a-
shooting schedule?
crazy. Woo. But okay, so Kina went on there 2020. So 2019, tunaweza shoot 2019 October. So we shot October, November, December tukamaliza almost 80 shows. Huh? 80.
80 episodes.
40 episodes.
Okay.
40. So that ndo iende on air. So that we have a tusikwe
buffer, yeah. So no production in a
But
run
either way,
concurrently.
it was a full-time job. It was a 7 to 6 job. Every day.
So then why do you need your life? Just become that person. It's daily. You have
Play a character.
We were
All those years.
it was very sad when it ended. We were very saddened when it ended.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it feels like now a part of you.
So it's more than 1,000 episodes.
Mwass, ukekwa Chaxy for 5 years. 5 years,
Yeah.
bro. Daily.
Might as well
Sina
continue.
nyot.
Nakupata tu nywele. Just
Proceed.
be. Yeah.
It was amazing.
That
It
thing
was an
actors say
amazing
about
experience.
who was discussing it here? Sema when
For
you have to when they yell cut and then you have to
Go
get
back
out,
into
out
it.
of
Or
character.
Boogie. It's Boogie was talking
I think
about
for
that.
me,
Re-roll ama there's a
Re-roll,
word, I
yeah,
don't
it was-
know,
What?
something.
And roll.
Getting out of your role. Like,
Yeah.
brief.
Deep. No.
It's a
the opposite of
debrief.
getting into character.
See the roll.
No, not the
And
role. It's
the character?
Yo.
Oh, no,
called
yeah,
debrief.
kijamii.
So like for me, I didn't have a problem because I think Kina was me. Fred Tandala was me. The one that I had to go through a debriefing was Single Kiasi. And I had never thought that was me got scared to lazima stia to and see therapist. I'm like for what?
Is it
Uko like make jana
It's
carry on.
We need to talk
Because I had to
today.
leave Dixon. I had to become that person, a bad, nasty person.
Yeah. I can't remember if it's
Getting
the one
out of
watched.
it, I didn't believe it was that
Ulipata
difficult.
heart attack ukikulana.
No, that's Ian
that's-
Bogwa.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
the same show.
Same show, but
Yeah.
But
now,
not the character.
Got you.
yeah, I was just a nasty guy.
Acting is so
Still,
weird.
Yeah, it's fun.
Tunafaa tu niamke mimi ni mse mwingine because I need to be this person for whole year.
Like shooting, like when we were doing Chocolate Empire,
Yeah.
for example, JB Mauzo is not supposed to smile. Mi ni mtu ucheka kila wakati. So you can imagine your takes.
So
Cut!
hard.
Jimmy!
Umetwa menu.
JB! You're not
Umandimu.
supposed to smile. Okay. Somebody say something. I check. Cut! It was tough. The first 2 weeks for Chocolate Empire was that the adjusting was tough. And then when you says we have it, you're like,
Oh, finally.
sour. Yeah. And I know even season 2 I'll probably I'll do it very differently because now I'm into the swing of thing. Just like now, if you watch Single Kiasi season 4, I'm a lot darker than if you thought I was darker in season 3.
Okay, already you're pissing me off. Let's just start. Already you're pissing me off.
There's a lady, in fact, if you look at X, she wrote, and I thought she was joking, so she got my number and called me.
You have
said, guy,
strange facts.
Maze, usifanye kitu kayo tena.
Si ni kuact. Kwani
so nikamsema maze, hiyo ni kitu fiti. Yeah, so there's another one also sent me a message on X. Same thing. It's hey, maze, don't take such roles again. We're not used to seeing you like that. So when she saw me doing chocolate, I thought I told you not to. But this other one, akona kama anacheza alinipigia. Usiwahi kuambia usipotee vitu.
It comes off as a compliment.
For me, it is.
It is, because that means you're really good at your role.
I really portrayed someone and hated them so much.
Ojo, this is like a story at Chebet. So we have a friend. Tulikuwa tu kwa nyumba and I watch TV. I think I'm in the kitchen doing something. Then nasikia tu, akamsa kamera hizi msaidia. I'm like, hey, alikuwa anachora.
Sasa kamera nataka fanye nini?
Atashoot nini kama tumsaidia?
Wacha kumoma, wacha.
Ambapo nilikuwa na best dramatic na watch movie kwa laptop hapa anaifunga. Anaifunga anasema twendeni tukule.
Wacha deli nayo.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah, for me it was a compliment. It was nice. Yeah.
How would you describe, for somebody who's not watched it, without spoiling, how would you describe Chocolate Empire?
I think Chocolate Empire is just the typical life of an urban family. One urban family that has it, one that doesn't have it. Yeah. The challenges of life, family, kids, survival, work, business, friendship, all those things. And then so it is narrowed down to 2 families, Mauzo's and why am I forgetting Sana's family? Yeah. And then they get intertwined together because JB has something going on with Sana's daughter, and everything just goes helter-skelter from there. Sekwa chomea. So
Choma kidogo tu.
Small.
5%.
Huyo anaweza kuzaba coffee. Umebakisha episodes ngapi?
See, hata ya watch 5 na 6. Mimi 6 pekee.
Nana anasema
watch 5.
Yeah, I already watch 5.
Watch 5. Nataka watch 5 na 6.
Miss Janza. Nana anasema tu kuzaba coffee randomly. Zaba.
Mtajuaje nimetoka Kakamega.
Zaba used to be samba ndakusamba mbao. Yeah, so that's basically it. It's Kenyan because you see places that you can identify with.
Yeah.
The language ni Swanglish.
Yeah.
Unaweza elewa. Kuna wengine of course wanaongea sheng nyingine mzito, but normally it's just how Nairobi urban folk talk. So
wewe unazielewa zote?
Yeah.
Unasema manyanga bado.
Wacha nikwambie mimi kuna babangu mmoja sheng
na chupi.
Chupi si sheng.
Sheng.
Chupi ni Kiswahili sanifu.
No. Sasa ukiona watu wangu, so Mungu alinibariki.
Bado unasema dinga.
Watu wangu walisomea Brookhouse. But watoto wangu wezo watu wa sheng. Sheng. Allah.
Anaweka koroga yote.
So kuna time moja tumeenda kula lunch. Jamaa anasengenya mtoi wangu. Na mtoi wangu anasikia tu. So of course mimi nasikia. Tunakula. Paps. Fantastic. Paps. Yeah. Jana anachongoa. Alafu so nikasema sote kanifanya nini? Nikamwambia nikamwambia ndio uongeleshe, akasimama. Walikaa tu hivi. So my daughter can speak like this. Na anaweza kuongelesha sheng.
We love a code switch.
A calligraphy.
Nikanoma.
Pia anaweza kuzaba Hey.
Is there a specific reason why you are drawn to this script or this character? Like, why did you pick it?
What drove me to it was the fact that it was very different. It was something I've never acted before, done before. Secondly, it was my first lead role. So I was a lead role before. And then inanikumbusha pia pale nilizaliwa. In fact, the funny thing is, your scene, when Sanaipe's character and me meet for the first time, ni Kariako.
Oh,
I grew up.
That's home.
Yeah, in those days, I remember people who used to roll like that. Yeah, Jamatuana ana hustle.
Yeah.
Unapata? And then that whole thing of you're from this background, unataka kuwa hapa, umeraise watoi wako vingine, because it's very typical.
Yeah.
Last but not wajui kuongea Kiswahili. Hata wapeana. Hata kucheck. So I have that. You know, so ni vitu nime-identify nazo sana.
Yeah.
So for me, the whole package was very attractive.
Nice. Are there characters characters or roles that you won't take?
Mimi nataka kuona ukiplay mse amesota.
Hiyo naweza play.
Baya.
That's boring.
Najua pale Marata.
There's been a lot of chat, especially in Hollywood, where now guys are doing the gay for pay roles and whatnot.
You're seriously funny.
Okay.
Again, I say it because, you know, sounding politically correct. But ukunichua mambo ni mi siko hivyo. And mtu asinichukulie vibaya, but I will never do a role like that. I was in Rafiki. And nakumbuka nikatumwa script na Wanuri, nikaita family, mama, watoi. So kwanza mtoi wangu so how we raise our kids ni uongee ukweli wako, usitukane mtu, usidoya. So nikaika script, you know, nikawapatia wakasoma wote, kasema ya
Speak your mind.
So their concern was, okay, even though you're not playing, so I don't know if Wanuri atanilao nisamei. Wanuri nisamei. Sorry. Initially,
you've been forgiven.
Please forgive me.
Thank you, Lord.
There was, I think, and Wanuri, correct me if I'm wrong. The role I was to play, the same role, I think the guy was supposed to be alikuwa kidogo queer. Kidogo
queer light.
Yeah.
Queer light ni unaweza kiss mwanaume.
I don't know what made Wanuri. I don't know because I didn't say it.
Yeah.
I don't know what made Wanuri change it to now just be the father of one of the main characters.
Okay.
Because I remember initially when I took the script to my family, they said,
no.
And not because we have anything, it's just this will ruin your career.
Yeah,
this one.
Don't do
because
it.
of how people view you and how people view cinema, they'll think it's you.
Yeah.
If they did the same with Mpango Kando,
True.
So, yeah. Then later on, Manuri got the script, you know, ikaletwa. Again, I shared and
approved. Okay.
You know, I heard it was not Angela Bassett. Kate what? And kumbuka, there's a word.
Hudson.
Hey.
Umeenda Kitale.
Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett watched Rafiki.
Yeah.
Stood up and cried for an hour. I don't know if you guys heard that story.
No.
She stood and when she watched Rafiki towards the end, or rather either an hour or half an hour towards the end she shed, she cried.
That's what they saw.
Hiyo ni kusoba.
Hiyo ni movie. 1 hour ni movie. Ukilia 1 hour. Movie to cry.
It was a long movie, but towards the end, she stood up. That was what Noro was telling me. She stood up and cried as she's watching it. That's
impact.
Mnalianga mkiona movie?
Depends.
Depends. Kama hiyo.
Sana. Wewe Angela Bassett.
Kwanza unajua huyu anatu nini date ya passion by projector juice.
Yeah.
So nataka tuende tulie huko.
Zile
video hapa na
I haven't watched it.
She's not watched it, yeah.
Yeah, shame me basi.
Acha tukushame.
Hiyo lazima tutawashame. Kwanza unatupikia?
No. Absolutely not.
Movie fit.
Is it?
Ata enjoy. Is JB an easy role for you to execute? Do you have to dig very, very deep?
In order to not play it ordinary, I had to dig. So remember, it's not just about not smiling. So it's about how does JB react? So if I'm not supposed to smile, how do you know that I'm excited?
Ukipata M-PESA.
Yeah, unapata.
Unagotea.
If I'm torn, because I'm torn between my relationship with with my wife and my relationship with my mpango wa kando, you know.
Wow, the joke is right itself,
bro.
So those
and
they have to be authentic responses, but then so different that you notice that my mates are be different, you know. So sometimes it's not even out of memory. Did I ever react like this, or do you know? It's just about digging and finding and practicing, and allowing yourself to be directed by your directors, because a lot of it akina feel na Grace wadisaidia sana. Kuna zingine there's some scenes that we had to do them again because my reactions are very what they thought was kawaida. So they're like, everybody says to those scenes again. And they took longer to shoot, but because
the result was rewarding.
So EPS script ulipeleka familia. Bibi na watoto.
Then
unaambia bibi, so hapa niko na mpango
ambaye sitamwepuka
for the film.
So here's the thing. Let me tell you why Phil and Grace knew Noma. So I thought that if you had, but then asidanganyi, if you had, because if you remember Kina, we never had kissing scenes. So Kina was pretty straightforward. I always thought if you had a steamy scene with somebody, you had to practice. And hence the reason why nilikuwa sichukui. So I was so nervous. So me can be Phil. Man, you can't change this scene. So there's a very steamy scene between me and Muli, which is I think on.
Shout out to episode 6.
Yeah, shout out to Anna.
So Phil akaniambia, bro, tulia si hivyo. Uko sure akaniambia usijali. To cut the long story short, when we did that steamy scene, cut. As in now we're going to another scene. We were like normal people. Yani kabisa kila mtu.
But kiss ni ukweli ama si ukweli?
Ni kweli?
Oh.
Mtu anakuwa actor.
Also I've been married
for almost
so mama shaswa.
No, but also because they're like you said, forget the steamy scenes between characters. There's some of the scenes where like this place where you walk in with Anne, and I mean Mumbi gets her, brings her in, and there's guys smashing.
Yes,
wait, as this is happening, you guys are in the room, or is this like
sasa waende wapi?
Cool.
Check vile Chaxy nako interested. Where can I watch that?
But actually no.
And I download.
Like season 1 episode. That I let Phil explain. That I feel as a mayo bit.
Phil ni mwaga. Phil atakuja.
Wasn't Phil supposed to come? Can we just call him right now?
But how they shot those scenes is out of this world.
Let's call him and see.
Let me call him?
Yeah, let's call him.
Okay, let's call him.
I have a funny Phil story nitawaambia tukikati. Hiyo atakuja asiseme tu hapa. It was so nice.
Ali should be poa sana.
Acha, let me just prank him. Does he pick numbers he doesn't know?
Of course, could be work.
You don't have me.
Hii siku hizi inaweza kuwa pesa.
Hita pick kwa nini?
Umekata?
Unajua kuswitch sauti?
Unauliza actor kama anajua kwa accent.
Hi.
Hello, hi.
Yes.
Is this Phil?
Yes.
So I've been given a number by JIMMI GATHU.
Yes.
He said I can call you. I'm an upcoming actor.
Okay.
And I was hoping maybe you can cast me in your next movie. I promise you, I'm really good. I haven't acted before, but I'm sure I'm really good.
Who's this?
My name is Chacha.
Chacha.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, Jimmy said I can call you, and he said you can cast me in the next movie.
Okay. Were you guys together right now?
Not today. Yesterday.
Okay, so just send me like your pictures and like a self-tape, huh?
Okay.
On WhatsApp.
What is a self-tape?
Some you reading anything like in terms of an audition, and then you send it to me. You can check on YouTube self-tape.
Sound.
Like an audition self-tape, yeah.
I send it to you literally in 5 minutes.
Okay, so.
So, anyway, we're pranking you. You're live on the podcast.
My check!
Jimmy is recording the podcast.
I knew this. Your voice sounded so familiar. Like, did you guys meet like 20 minutes ago?
Oh my gosh.
Mwass had a question for you.
Yeah.
Niwaambie ile story.
Kuna story mingi Mwass.
Oh my gosh.
Phil, are you ever coming on the pod?
Honestly.
Kwanza sasa tuko na nepotism.
Yes, no, I'm pulling my nepotism card. Are you coming?
Skizeni kidogo. I am the most influential. Jimmy, is Jimmy there?
Yes, he can hear you.
I am the most influential producer, director
That is
for the
true.
last 3 decades.
Hey, come on.
When you guys were in class 4, I was doing changing time.
Yeah. Imagine.
Okay,
You don't look it. You do not
I
look
don't
it.
know how you guys have never had me on your show, but ni sawa. Mariah.
I've pulled the nepotism card. Should I drag you here?
Si ungeanza pia na kusema wewe ni umekuwa gaslighter for 3 decades. We are wondering why you never want to come on.
And if you guys bring me there, I'll talk about my beef with Tosh, you know.
Let's do this.
Even better.
We love beef.
Can we have Tosh on set as well?
beef.
You know.
Can we have Tosh on set as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's do a versus.
Yeah. And then bring your
Let's go,
boxing
film for
gloves,
film.
lete zangu. Just in case.
Bro, we just want to check it.
No, thanks, man. Thanks.
Cheers. Have a good one. And I'll still send you my... Will send me later what chest. I'll send you myself.
Wow. Yeah.
So I think we have to let you go because we have 10 minutes. You need to take pictures, do a drop.
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you so much, man. Such an honor. It's impossible to cover everything. Would you be down to come
I've
back
even
again?
done a quarter of what I've done.
It's impossible.
Is it because you're old or you're interesting?
Old.
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Would you be down to come again?
I haven't even told about Ibdi Souza.
Sasa sikia.
Tunaanza hapo.
Tuanze.
Give the Souza.
Jeff Koinange saizi.
If the Souza.
I haven't told about Jeff.
Hey.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There really is a lot.
Nitarudi mkinialika ndakuja.
Basi.
Haya.
Kuna vitu mob.
Mambo ni mengi.
Maybe you can finish by letting guys know where they can catch.
Yeah, please.
Sana is here on 17th?
17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe until we can finish by letting guys know where they can watch the Chocolate
Absolutely. Empire. Make sure you catch the Chocolate Empire on Showmax. New episodes every Thursday. And you get to enjoy Jimmy Gathu, Mumbi Maina, and Muli.
Chacha.
Derek Banga. Aleki Kamau.
Amali
Chopeta.
Her second name, honestly, is a tongue twister, but her too. And yeah.
It's a powerful show.
It's an amazing show. Make sure you catch it.
It's very Kenyan. It will shock you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Thanks, bro.
All the best.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Hey, Mresh.
Usishuke bado.
Tu hapa.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jimmy Gathu, episode 256, we are...
My check!
Over 26. This is the
This is the Brunch Club.
Over 26. Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.